No, I love that you brought up like the Carolinas, you know, being right down the street from Flair. And obviously, I was a huge Four Horsemen fan too, even though I loved all the baby faces in the WWE. But when I would see the Four Horsemen, it's just something so cool about that.
Just so cool, yeah.
Just so cool. Well, before we hit the record button on here, we were talking about a little Ric Flair.
Right.
The big news is that he's going to be doing his final match out there in the Carolinas, and are you going to go out and watch? You're gonna be ringside. You're gonna I don't know, jump in there maybe.
Maybe this is going to be a Starcast event, which is Conrad Thompson. He's like the godfather of all podcasts.
I love Conrad Thompson. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet. He was supposed to come on the show. Still coming after you, Conrad. But yeah, I listened to him and Eric Bischoff on 83 Weeks regularly.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, Conrad also, his whole podcast network is where The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy airs. You know, it's with him. He'd reached out to me and came to me with the project, and that's how this all kind of came to be. But there is definitely talk of us going out there and maybe doing a signing, and maybe I do a live podcast and maybe even involved in a match in some capacity. Who knows? Maybe I could even end up in Ric Flair's last match.
Wouldn't that be incredible, though?
It would be a pretty cool moment, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his mic work, everything that he did over the years, just. We talked about bumps with like HBK and stuff. You got to see HBK obviously took a lot from him. And just taking bumps in general, Ric Flair's like the OG of that. You know?
Oh my God, yeah. Whenever we did WrestleMania, I think it was 22, and there's a Money in the Bank, and Ric Flair was in that match. And there was one point where he wanted to take a big bump. He had to take a big bump, like he was going to be gone, but he's going to try and come back. It was kind of like the story we were telling in the match. And he said, well, I want to do this. If I'm going to do a big bump off the ladder, I'm going to do it with you. You're the guy I trust, and I know you'll take care of me, you'll keep me safe, whatever. And then we'd kind of determine where we were going to do the suplex from. And he was going to be 2 or 3 rungs down on the ladder. And we got up there, we were fighting a little bit. I'd grabbed him, and I was going to suplex. He said, no, higher, higher, higher. And he wanted to go up, and he was said, higher, higher, higher. And he went up like the next to the top rung before I suplexed him. And we went all the way down. People were like, oh my God, I can't believe Matt Hardy just suplexed a 57-year-old nature boy in this ring. And it was like, this maniac is the one who wanted to do it. He called the spot, and he kept saying, higher, higher, higher.
Wow, is he? So he's just intense like that in the ring,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the party life. Obviously, you've been a little closer with Rick over the years. Like, how many beverages have you shared with the infamous Ric Flair?
I've had quite a few. Yeah, I've had quite a few back in the day.
What's one of your favorite nights with him? One that you could tell.
Well, one that I could tell. Whenever we were doing TNA, there was one night where he was down and he was buying rounds of drinks for the whole roster, and everybody was down at the bar hanging out, whatever. And he came through and said, "Woo, another round! Here we go, guys, let's go!" And then he went and he'd taken his credit card. He'd only had one there, and he went and did it, but it was declined. And he came up to me and said, "Woo!" He said, "Hey, Matt, can you take this for me? I know you got plenty of money." He said, "Just cover it. I promise I'll get you back." And he, "Woo!" And he walks out, but he said all this, and I was like, "It with the bill, you know. I'm still waiting on my money back."
He hasn't paid you back. So now we have an angle for that last match. You got to go get your money back.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Well,
his years of entertainment were well worth that.
Yeah, absolutely.
At $1,200 or whatever it was.
Oh, that's how many guys were there for that?
I don't know. It was there were probably 8 or 9 guys down there, and they all got a couple rounds. Yeah.
I was like, well, that's not that bad. Like 30 people or something.
Yeah, right.
8 or 9. You guys did some work.